Here we are back. I'm Jeff Stevens. This is your co-host, Zach Clem. We're here with OV Athletics, STREAMcast. Hey, we're just better here, Zach.
We're just better. And you had to take a little bit. We had a little bit of time off.
We did.
Us traveling around a little bit. Life got us busy here, so we're back in the saddle a little bit after a little bit of a breakdown. But just because we had a breakdown, we don't have enough breakdowns for you guys tonight, and there's tons of breakdowns on ovathletics.com to check out too.
And we've been all over. The first thing we'd like to do is we'd like to thank High Valley Nutrition, one of our first sponsor, not one of our first sponsor, continuing with us. And I tell you what, Zach, I've been lifting a little bit. They have great stuff for that, but it's not just that over there at High Valley Nutrition. They have all kind of multivitamins. They have diet stuff for you, and it's not just, hey, come here and they're just going to sell you something and get you out of the store. They're going to talk to you about the nutrition and what you also have to do, with your diet, eating what foods you need to eat, what you want to do with your body. It's not just get you in and get you out of the store. It's get you in, sit you down and talk to you what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Do you want that summer beach body? Do you just want to not get sick as much anymore? Take those multivitamins. What should I take them with? How should I change up my diet? They're going to do more than just sell you something, get you out of the store.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I definitely need to go over there and see them just because of the whole, vitamin thing. Hey, boost my immune system.
Yeah, you were just saying you were getting over something.
I've just been getting over something. It seems like literally everything TJ brings home from daycare I'm getting to. I got used to middle school germs, then COVID hit, my immune system got babied, and then I've got my son in the toddler room, and I've got middle school kids. I feel like I've been sick constantly since the beginning of the school year.
And I don't know if we've ever mentioned this. They have some sleep aids over there too. I know, I've been reading some stuff about my nutrition and all this stuff, and they said that could be one of the biggest things to getting healthy is regulating your sleep. Not just getting your 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever your body needs, but getting it at the proper times. And sometimes, with running around, you have kids, you have all kind of stuff to do. You want to get into that regular sleep pattern, and these things will help you out. And again, you can go over there. Do you know what? I got a text the other day from a High Valley Nutrition. Hey, come over. We'll give you $10 off.
There we go.
Hey, that's all you got to do. You give them your number. Hey, they give me $10 off. I'll take it.
Go see them. Talk to them about sleep stuff. Normally when I need to go to sleep, I just call Jeff and have a conversation, and it puts me right out. But normally,
I'd be sleeping by then anyway, Zach. It's midnight.
That's true. Normally,
I'm old.
Solid.
Hey,
good turnaround there.
How about some baseball action, Zach? Hey, we're into the
spring
sports.
We
have baseball, we have softball, we have track. We got a lot of stuff to get to.
Did you say we're in the swing of things?
We are in the swing of things. How about we hit one out of the park here with this Cameron and Tyler game? Hey, Tyler Consolidated comes in number 1 in the state of West Virginia. I believe they were undefeated when this game happened. And I even mentioned to a couple of different baseball people. I told Dylan, I said, Tyler, number 1 in baseball. He goes, they got some kids and everything, and they're pretty good. But here comes the Dragons.
One of my favorite baseball movies growing up was
Major League.
Major League, but also you got Angels in the outfield, and it seems like the Camerons might have some Angels helping them out too.
Maybe, Zach. But it wasn't one of my favorites. That movie was terrible.
So it was a horrible movie. I just needed this segue.
You did get a good segue. Hey, the Dragons, 7-1. Sophomore Coy Angel, Coach Sokovics knows Coy Angel, pitched a perfect game for 6 innings. Now, a no-hitter is one thing in high school because, you might walk some kids, you might hit a batter and air, but perfect means none of that stuff happens. That means up and down, everybody that comes up goes down for 6 innings. How about Adam Angel? His dad was elated with a team's performance that was one of their biggest games and biggest wins of the year.
Yeah, it's a huge win. What do you think helped that win there, Jeff?
Angel hit a home run in the first inning to give Cameron a 1-0 lead. Lance Hartley hit a 2-run homer in the same inning to make it 3-0. Cameron continued to dominate. Coy Angel shutting down Tyler completely, throwing that perfect game. Cameron just kept growing on that lead. Adam Angel had an RBI single, Cole Burkett. These are some names we always talk about. We talk about Cameron sports, whether we're talking about wrestling, whether we're talking about football, whether we're talking about basketball, these names are always coming up. Tyler able to stop that no-hitting streak. When Ty Walton for Tyler hit a single to left center, scored Jaden Helmick that ended the no-hitter in the perfect game for Angel.
Cameron had a great game. They really did. Tyler had been having a great season at that point, a little bit of an upset. Obviously, Coach Angel probably had something to say, with both of his boys playing a big role.
Definitely. Very proud of his team's performance, pitching, hitting, fielding. And it's like, it seems like when it comes down to sports, not one thing can win you a game like this. When you're beating a number 1 team, it's not like it was a great game pitching, but we didn't get the bats to come in. It seems like everything has to come together. Tyler's a good team. They're probably going to face him again at some point.
Well, yeah, everything had to come together, and you don't beat a team like that unless some things are going right. You get some bounces
definitely.
in your direction. You get a couple swings early. You get a couple swings late. Really can change the whole dynamic of a game there.
Yeah. Hey,
So you want to go ahead and jump to our next?
oh
one?
yeah, we're moving on.
We're
moving on. How about the Belair Big Reds and Wheeling Central? Hey, great game, great matchup. Two baseball schools that.
He just called Wheeling Central a baseball school.
Wheeling Central is a baseball school. Are they not really good at baseball?
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have called them a baseball school. I mean, they're an everything sports school. I mean, they're competing in everything. They're not like one of those. To me, they're not one of those the schools that just is like, hey, they're just a football school, or they're just a baseball school, or they're just a track school.
I guess they are an everything school.
I mean, they're an everything school. As much as it pains me physically to say that, they are an everything school.
I think they are and everything. Well, we could get to that. But anyway, Belair over Wheeling Central. Hey, miscues, unearned runs made a huge difference in this game. And that's the biggest thing. You talk to a baseball coach,
Yep.
They don't like unearned runs.
They really don't. Yeah, so despite a fine pitching effort from Wheeling Central's Braden Cover, who scattered 6 hits and struck out 8, 4 errors from his defense allowed Belair to squeak out a close one, 3-2.
4 errors. Luke Hetherington, we've talked about him before, of course, for Belair. Pitched a 3-hitter. That's a great game. Chance Moffitt had beat the shortstop to bag a second, allowing Jake Dowling to score the game-winning run. Both teams struggled at the plate, Zach. Only 3 hits for Wheeling Central. All 3 of Blair's runs come from the bases loaded. Despite the loss, Central's coach Jason Rowe recognized the importance of consistency. At the plate.
And as you talked about, all those coaches are going to be like, that's the huge thing with baseball, right? It's consistency. And when you're having those errors, you're having those little controllable things that are falling apart. That's really where the weakness sort of comes in a little bit. It's a get-right game for both these teams where they're both going to have to look at this and we're like, hey, we're going to have to fix ourselves before this next game. Because baseball is such a quick turnaround. They're probably playing again tonight.
They play, baseball
all the time.
With rainouts and everything else. You could be playing 2-3 nights in a row, and you just got to kind of forget about that one and move on to the next one.
It seems like when we do all these baseball summaries, it seems like there's literally we see the same team about half dozen times in a week.
Yeah. Hey, who do we got next, Zach?
We got Wheeling Park and East Liverpool.
The Potters and the Patriots. A big P game. Patriots, big win, 19-1. They had 16 hits, all singles.
Goodness gracious.
That's a lot of singles.
This game was up at West Liberty, though.
Yeah, West Liberty. Yeah,
West Liberty's got a great ball field up there.
Oh,
it was
they
great
definitely
up there. They were up there because they were putting the finishing touches on Wheeling Park's new baseball field.
Yeah,
have you seen the pictures of it?
I've seen the pictures. I was up there Saturday for the Dick Dye. Got to check out the baseball field a little bit. The track's coming together. It's not 100% complete yet, but it's looking pretty good up there at Wheeling Park. I'll talk more about the track later on in our segment.
I know Mr. Jones, the assistant superintendent for Ohio County Schools, was blowing up pictures of it, just talking about how great it was. I saw those I believe this weekend when they were posting those pictures of it. Yeah. Just looks like an outstanding facility. So that's why they're up at West Liberty. But then brings us back to the game itself. So what happened in the game itself?
Hey, Tino Nardone led the attack with 3 base hits and 2 RBIs. Nathan Bittinger drove in 4 runs with 2 hits. Gianno D'Angeneva had 3 ribbies on 2 hits. Braden Kupski, Ryan Conrad, Grant Simmons, and Quinn Jamison all singled twice. So look at all these singles. Now you know where all these 16 singles came from. Jamison got in a pair. Conrad and Simmons each got a couple RBIs each. Nate Simon had a 2-run single. Just a complete game. It sounds like everybody in the lineup was just popping singles everywhere.
A little bit an early game. We had a mercy rule here. It ended in the 4th inning, I believe.
Yeah, ended in the 4th inning due to 4.5 innings due to the mercy rule. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So hey, how about we move on? More baseball action. We got a lot of baseball action here today.
We got a lot of baseball, a lot of softball.
Yeah. How about University and Lindsley? Great matchup again.
Oh, yeah.
Down in Morgantown, University gets the win, 7-4 over the Cadets. Lindsley led in the game 4-0.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
An inning and a half before the Hawks scored the final 7 runs of the game. Trey Prather drove in 2 runs for Lindsley with a single and a double, and Jack Scovert singled twice, and Colin Paul doubled in the game.
Yeah,
so
and then we've got...
good game out to University.
It's tough to drop one like that if you're Lindsley. To be up 4-0 and then lose the 7-4.
Definitely.
Obviously, your bats got cold a little bit. You weren't fielding very well there. Really sort of biting you in the butt there.
And sometimes the ball just drops in. You're pitching well and you're hitting your spots, but the ball just drops to where players aren't.
There's an old saying in hockey that I know Tom will love this. There's nothing as worrisome as a 2-goal lead. And a 4-0 lead in baseball is kind of like that. You get a little comfortable. You sit on your laurels a little bit. Maybe you're not playing your game as tight as you should be.
Yeah.
And then somebody sneaks back in on you. 2 goals is never enough, and it's just kind of like that in baseball, too. A 4-run lead isn't enough because, you can have that swing happen really fast.
Yeah.
So then we have St. Mary's and Payton City. St. Mary's wins 11-1. Bill Miller struck out 12 and walked 1 and allowed just 1 hit as the Blue Devils rolled past the visiting Wildcats, who ended up being 9-4. Will McGinnis singled for Payton City's only hit.
Yeah, so, great facility if you've never been down to St. Mary's. Another great facility in the High Valley to go watch a baseball game. Yeah. Hey, here we are.
Two teams that we always seem to talk about.
One of our favorites. We have Barnesville and River and Hannibal. Just a great game. When you have Barnesville and River getting together for anything.
Absolutely.
Baseball, football, basketball, tiddlywinks. Whatever you're playing,
anything,
go watch.
Yeah,
go watch them play.
Absolutely.
Barnesville spoiled River's home opener. They beat the Pilots 4-3 to complete the sweep of the season series already. Into the season.
Wow. It's crazy that the season series could be over already.
Yeah, that's
early, but it stinks for River that they're getting their home opener spoiled. But Barnesville received strong pitching from Jackson Wiley, who had 4 strikeouts, and CJ Hanna's had a single and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, and we talked about him during football season, definitely. And here he is on the diamond too.
Again, yeah. And so we go up, hop across the river,
Stay
in Ohio.
Stay in Ohio.
Sorry, I saw the team first. With Brook beating Buckeye Local 9-3. Brook exploded for 6 runs in the top of the 9th and went on to post a 9-3 victory against Buckeye Local Monday afternoon.
The interesting thing about this, Zach, is you don't normally see this. A 9-inning game, 9-3.
No, you don't.
It goes into extras. You're expecting a 1, maybe two run game.
Well, I think
it's a 6-run game. There.
I think it's cool. Monday afternoon game. Nice sort of recovered from the Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Nice little break there. Anthony Baczynski fueled the Bruins offense with 2 singles, a double, and 2 RBIs. Carson Lonemus added a triple, a single, and 4 RBIs as well.
Great games for those 2 young men.
Seriously, a 9-3 when you were tied 3 at the top of the 9th is wild. It's just wild. Yeah. That'd be a 9th inning I'd like to watch.
Bats got hot.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
It happens, absolutely.
How about another one you always love to see? Martins Ferry and Union Local. Going to Martins Ferry, they get the big win 9-2 on, again, another Monday afternoon game.
Yeah.
Hey, the Purple Riders received sterling pitching from sophomore Aiden Ludoff. He had 12 strikeouts, Zach.
Wow.
Walked just 1. That's a good performance.
Impressive. That's very impressive.
Hey, he did it at the plate, too. Single, a double, and an RBI.
Yeah, that's impressive. Senior Braden Main had 2 doubles, a single, and drove in a run, while classmate Connor Probst had a single, a double, and 2 RBIs, while Turner Kroll had a single, a double, and an RBI.
Hey, good job out to Turner. I know Turner.
You know Turner?
Well, that's a relation. It's my cousin. Yeah, Turner's a cousin of mine. So Turner had a great game.
There's always a connection for Jeff Stevens.
There is. I always come up. I can remember Turner when he was little. We used to pass football sometimes and did a couple little things. But that's
awesome.
It's been a while, but great job out to Turner. With a good game, single, double, and an RBI for him.
So we got another 2 teams that are sort of near and dear to us here: Shadyside and Bridgeport. Shadyside jumped all over Bridgeport. They ended up winning 17-4. Jumped all over Bridgeport for 6 runs in the first inning and never looked back en route to 17-4 victory.
It's a big victory in baseball. You have to have a lot of performances. Like they have Caden Nippert. He was the winner on the mound. He had 3 singles. A bulk of the offense. Hey, Tyler Stottlemyre had a double, 2 singles, drove in 5 runs. Anthony Forgax had a double, a triple, and drove in 3. And Ben Walk had 2 hits and drove in a run.
I'm really happy you took that name. I would have messed that one up for sure. Forgax.
I got
it. Yeah, you got it.
I won't go back and try that one again.
We'll go back and try it again. No. I looked at it. I was like, I'm happy you took that one. And I was like, crap, how did he say that?
Yeah, just real quick and just let the brain do it.
I'm blaming it on cold medicine. That's what I'm blaming it on.
There you go.
All right, so then we go to Harrison Central and Beaver Local. Harrison Central wins 15-6. Harrison Central struck for 6 runs in its first 2 at-bats. And again, very similar idea here. They never looked back, just like Shadyside didn't. Wyatt Pierce picked up the win on the bump for the Huskies with 6 strikeouts.
Hey, at the plate, senior Tristan Namath ripped a double, a single, and drove in 2. Great game. Tucker Snyder had a single and 2 RBIs. Trey Rex had a double, a single, drove in 4. Great games for all those. And then Cabot Arball drove in a pair with a single. So
two pretty big games in a row. Brings us to one that was a little bit tighter.
Yeah. Cambridge and St. Clairsville. A great baseball game to watch. Cambridge comes up with a victory, 3-1. St. Clairsville was on that 8-game winning streak. inside Cambridge City Park at Doncaster Field. The Red Devils ran into a great pitching performance in Jake Valentine. He had 5 strikeouts, complete game, 5-hitter.
Wow.
So you spread those out amongst a couple innings, and you're not going to score many runs.
Yeah, it's impressive. St. Clairsville received an RBI double from Brody Saunders and a double from Mason Myers, but it just wasn't enough to overcome the strong pitching from Cambridge and them getting those 3 runs early. Yeah,
that's tough. When you got a guy that's going a complete game and only giving up 5 hits, that's a great game.
It's an absolutely great game. And we come to Indian Creek and Edison. We have Indian Creek winning 15 to Edison's 8. Aiden Orr homered twice and singled to drive in 6 runs as the Redskins routed the host Wildcats. Cy Howell knocked in 3 runs with 2 singles, and Seth Barklow drove in another with a single and a double as well.
Hey, I'd like to go see this. You don't see a lot of home runs in high school baseball around here, so you got to go watch this Aiden Orr play. I mean, homered twice in this game, singled to drive in 6 runs.
Yeah.
So worth the price of admission there. Go watch Aiden Orr play.
I mean, seriously, if you're home running, and oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You really got to crank it.
Yeah, I mean, it's even to get to double digits for the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a really good season. Yeah.
Then we got Williamstown played Madonna. The visiting Yellow Jackets took advantage of 4 costly errors by the Blue Dons for a road win, winning 9-7. I don't have a whole lot on this one.
Hey, that's a big win for Williamstown.
Big win for Williamstown.
Definitely.
Obviously, it was still pretty close. 9-7's nothing to sneeze at there. I mean, it looks like there were probably a little bit of errors on both parts whenever you see a score that is up above 5 with both teams being in that range there.
Definitely. Looking forward to seeing Madonna continue that season run. Baseball, just like basketball, everybody makes it there at the end. So, you're just growing towards that postseason.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on.
Do we want to move on, or we want to shout out to one of our wonderful sponsors?
Hey, Swan Sports Shop.
There we go.
Hey, I was there last weekend. I said, hey, Swanee, what do you got? And he said, I got your shirts in. So for the winners of our basketball pick'ems, your T-shirts are coming. Swan's printing them right now. They're going to be hot off the press. We're going to get those out to you. We're going to have more shirts. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. Stay tuned. OhioValleyAthletics.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all the social media. And we're going to be doing stuff to give out these shirts. We want you to,
awesome.
to get this gear out to everybody. Just promote our website and just to get you some nice gear to wear around.
It'll be fantastic. And Swan's going to hook you up with anything that you might need. I mean, they've got tons and tons and tons and tons of options. And if they don't have it, they'll get stuff in for you. Screen printing, embroidery. The whole 9 yards.
How about, hey, you need some softballs? You need baseballs? He sold two boxes of softballs when I was over there. Somebody came in and said, do you have softballs? He goes, what kind do you want? Guy said, this is what kind I need. And he goes, I got 2 balls right here. Boom. So baseballs, softballs. It's during that season. He was selling people hats. He was selling them shirts. I was there on a Saturday afternoon. He had people coming in and out. He has anything you'd ever want when it comes to sporting goods. Go to Swan Sports Shop. Tell him you heard it here on OV Athletics. He'll be happy to see you and take care of whatever you need. You need cleats. I think somebody was in there for a glove or something. I don't know what they were in there for, but anything you'd need.
Yeah, so that brings us to softball. So we've got our first matchup here. If you want to go ahead and jump in that one.
Hey. John Marshall continue. It's a great softball season. 6-1 victory over Parkersburg South. And usually South brings a pretty good team, Zach. John Marshall moves to 12-1 on the season.
Wow, that's impressive.
15 hits. It was a 1-1 deadlock tie game. 5 runs in the top of the 5th just to start running. Mason England wrapped 3 one-base hits, and AC Cumberledge, Tori Finley, and Kaylee White all had 2 singles each. AC and Kaylee each collected an RBI each. And I know I said AC for some reason. I don't know why it's in there like that. Her name's Alexis, and that's what I call her.
It was in there in the article.
Everybody calls her AC except me. I always call her Alexis. Little shout out to Alexis. She was the one when we were down at the John Marshall football game when Coach Sokovic and I just acquired the site and took time out. She was taking pictures for the school. She does some stuff for them.
That's awesome.
And we took time to catch up. She was a former athlete of mine and student of mine. Great kid. Same with Mason.
I was gonna say there's a couple familiar names there for you.
They're all familiar. I have to take a minute to talk about them each. Can I do that?
Yeah, for sure.
It's my show. I'm the host. I can do whatever I want, huh? So Mason, again, great kid. I've wrote some things about Mason and just the hard work she puts in everything she does. Tori, Tori.
Tori's a great kid.
A great kid. Again, works really hard. Doesn't surprise me. And then Kaylee White, just one of the best athletes I think I've coached. Kaylee, just natural at everything. She moves so smoothly. So it doesn't surprise me to see their names up here, just all performing well.
No, I mean, every single time we talk, John Marshall softball, these kids' names are coming up.
Definitely.
Every single time.
Good to see Alexis up there come back from it. She had a knee injury, and had surgery. Tough, but she's come back strong, and just glad to see them all playing well. Glad to see John Marshall win a couple games. Now we can move on. Now that I've had my piece.
Now we can move on. So we've got Martins Ferry and Union Local. So the Purple Riders made it 9 consecutive wins to start the season Monday. They routed Union Local 12-1. Kelsey Gillespie. There we go. I recovered. Picked up the win in the circle with 5 strikeouts. She also had a single. Junior Danelle Lude had a double and an RBI. Ella McFarland had an RBI, and then Avery Hughes had a grand slam double and drove in 6.
Grand slam. I like those ones.
Grand slam. How about I like the ones at Denny's.
Why does that not surprise me? Hey, how about these pitching performances? when you also get your hits to go along with your pitching, when you get your pitching a couple hits, that really helps out your team a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah, good friend of mine, his fiance pitched for West Lib for years. We always used to joke she could pitch, but she was awful hitting.
Awful. That's when you lean into them.
Yep, and we told her to do it, and I mean, then we told her to lean into pitches, and then she got engaged to her fiance, so I mean...
Of course, maybe not the best choice. Hopefully they're not watching. Hey,
I hope Greg's watching.
You said you were going to give a shout out to somebody that's watching. We have somebody that's with us, I believe.
Oh, yeah, we've got Matt Layton's with us.
Yeah. Hey, Matt. Next, we have on the docket Oak Glen, the Golden Bears taking on the Lindsley Cadets.
Oh, it's a tough one for my cadets.
It's a tough one for your cadets. You know, when you put up that goose egg, when you go down 8-0, but the pitching performance, Lizzie Kelfan, 10 batters, threw a perfect game.
Wow.
Perfect game, Zach. And as we talked about it earlier with Cameron, and Coy Angel, to get a perfect game, that means there's no errors.
Yep.
You don't walk anybody. No hit batters.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Yep.
Like, you're perfect. That's a great feat in sports.
There's some girls that played softball at Lindsley when I was at school that if I told them that Lindsley had a no-hitter against them, they would have gone ballistic. Would have gone absolutely bananas. So I'm sure Lindsley, they're going to take this one on the chin. They're going to try to move forward. But I know some of the kids that were on the softball team when I was in school, and I would not have wanted to see them the next day had this happened. And I know that intensity still lingers around the program too. So this is going to be one where I'm pretty sure we're going to see them get right sometime soon.
So just the no-hitter only gets you to 0-0, or the perfect game gets you 0-0. So you have to have some offense.
They did get some offense.
Olivia Munoz doubled, had 4 RBIs. Sydney Brown-Kell and Sarah Brown also both doubled. So they had to get some runs across the plate, in order to score those 8 runs. How about this? We had Cambridge and St. Clairsville in baseball, so let's get them in softball, Zach.
Got them in both.
Hey, the Bobcats picked up another win by soundly defeating St. Clairsville 19-3 inside City Park there at Cambridge. Abby Mann was so impressive on the mound, at the plate. She had 9 strikeouts in a complete game. She also hit a home run, a double, and drove in 4.
I mean, we just talked about it on the last one. When you get, or I guess 2 ago, but when you get a pitcher that also can hit and is contributing that well, I mean, it's just huge. They're great offensively, they're great defensively when they're pitching. I mean, it's just a huge, huge effort when you can get that. And it's going to get you so many runs. I mean, it's just going to generate offense.
Yeah. St. Clairsville, receives some good performances from a couple players. Rachel Finnicle had a home run, a triple, and two RBI. And senior Abby Salisbury had a triple, a single, and an RBI. So a couple runs coming there from St. Clairsville.
Yep.
Just, couldn't get it done on the mound, it seems like.
Yep, and then so we have our next game, we have Beaver Local and Harrison Central. Beaver Local struck for 6 in its last trip to the plate on Monday afternoon and stunned the previously unbeaten Harrison Central 9-6. The Huskies received a single and 2 RBIs from Maddie Butler, while Isabel Yeager and Riley Smith each had an RBI single as well.
Another, I like those 9-6 games, 10-7 games. You get to see, some runs scored, but you also get to see a little bit of a pitching performance there. Mix it up a little bit. How about the next one? Again, here's Barnesville again, taking on Shenandoah. So, two that are near and dear to our heart, Shenandoah and Barnesville. A really close pitcher's duel here. Shenandoah 2 over Barnesville with 1 run. Brilliant pitching performance and a solo home run from Maya Leach en route to the victory over the Shamrocks. So, there you go. You get the complete game, or that you get a great game on the mound, and then you get a solo home run from the pitcher. There's what you need.
Absolutely.
Next on the docket, you have River and Buckeye Local. River getting a big win over the Panthers, 12-0. How about this performance for a freshman? Ava Warner fanned 8 and didn't walk a batter, scattered 2 singles. So, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody, 2 singles. Great game. Pilots moved to 4-3 on the season. Blank the Panthers. Panthers haven't been able to get off the snide yet this year. They're 0-8.
Oh, that's
but,
tough. It's
hey,
tough.
You're building for that postseason.
Yep.
You could go 0-30. You get to the postseason, you can win some games.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
You're just building on that momentum, I guess, towards the end of the season.
Yeah. So classmate Addison Kovich drove in 3 runs with a pair of singles and a triple. Riley Knight singled and tripled. Reese Hobbs singled twice and knocked in 2. And Hannah Raper added a 2-run single as well.
So Rivers got the future's pretty bright over there.
Rivers got some talent. A few of these girls I feel like we mentioned during basketball season.
Yeah.
Maybe even back to volleyball. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm in a fog of Advil cold inside.
Some of these schools, not real big schools, you got to have these kids playing multi-sports. If not, your teams are going to suffer.
I know we've said Hannah's name before. I can't remember whether it was basketball or volleyball, but one of the 2 Hannah's names come up before for River as well. So.
Yes. Next, one of my favorite places to go, Wolfhurst. You get Shady Side and Bridgeport. Shady Side, big win over Bridgeport, 10-2.
Yep.
They scored all 10 of the runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. So, 3 innings shutout. Sounds like a baseball team I played for. I think we shut out every team in the first 2 innings, maybe 3. And we got run ruled in every game we played. I don't know what happened. Gentry Brown slugged a 3-run homer, and Bella Honeywell added a solo shot. Putting those runs on the board for the Tigers. Impressive. Yeah, definitely.
And we have Indian Creek in Edison. So visiting Redskins 8-0, scored twice in the top of the 4th to remain unbeaten. Emma Vach doubled in a run, and Becky Blackburn singled and doubled as well. So that's the end of our softball run.
Yeah,
here.
So we have baseball, we have softball.
Baseball and softball.
Hey, how about this, Zach? How about going to the Army?
Oh.
Hey, let's go to the Army. We'd really like to thank them for coming on board with us. And if you're looking into it, if you're in high school, that's what we're talking about now, is high school sports, and you're thinking about going to the Army, go to our website. There's a banner at the top, and it's just Army banner right at the top.
Can't miss it.
You click on that banner, fill out some information, and you're going to meet with somebody. And, it's not just, you're not just going to go into combat, or you're just not going to go in maybe mechanics. All kind of opportunities for you. They're going to, they could pay for your college. They're going to pay for your room and board. They're going to do a lot of stuff. You could travel all over the place.
It's one of those things, a lot of people view it as like, hey, I'm just going to go in and get a little bit of money for college. But it's like, it's not just that. They're going to teach you skills that are applicable to whatever that career is. You're going to go leadership. You're going to get the discipline. You're going to get all that other stuff that's sort of unspoken that goes along with that. And just a sense of pride and a sense of community that will last for a very long time.
And it's something that Tom and I look very highly towards as being a sponsor, because both of our fathers are Army veterans.
Right.
So it's something that we look forward to in signing with them and getting them to come on board with OV Athletics.
Oh, it's huge.
They're in it for the kids. We're in it for the kids. Hey, if you're interested, go to ovathletics.com. At the very top of the page, there's going to be an Army banner. Click there, fill out the information, tell them OV Athletics sent you, and just get some information from you.
Yep.
And you're going to find out that there's a lot more to do in the Army than just, combat.
Well, there's tons of it. And I always tell people, too, it's one of those things, when you look into the logistics and computer science stuff of it, my wife talks about it all the time, about how these huge careers that are popping up in computer science and coding and all this information technology that's available right now. That's one of those careers that the Army can help you get an avenue into. You can go be making 6 figures a year. Go work for them, get your associate's degree, get that job experience, and you can come out and be making 6 figures coming out of that.
Yeah, and definitely, I know, jobs that you apply for, veteran right on there.
Yeah.
And they're going to look at you a little differently because of the discipline that you mentioned, Zach,
Absolutely.
because of the responsibility that you have, because of the commitment you have to make. They look at that on job applications as well. So look into it. Thanks again to the United States Army. We're proud to have you on board with OV
awesome.
Athletics.
It's really cool.
And again, like you were talking about, Zach, with the computer science and everything like that.
Yeah.
Who spares no expense when it comes to dumping money into something, the government?
Seriously.
So you're going to get the best training with the newest things, with the newest items. It's just going to be an unbelievable experience for you. So go look it up. U.S. Army, thank you again.
So unbelievable experience, with one of our sponsors. It also brings us an unbelievable experience this weekend that happened at Wheeling Park High School. The Dick Dye Classic. I mean, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything here. I think where we start off with just, the person who the event is named after, Dick Dye. He was honored posthumously at the meet. as well. So we'll go ahead and jump into that here.
Yeah, he's going to be inducted into the West Virginia Coaches Association Hall of Fame, which it's a great honor. It's well deserved for Coach.
I know they had tons of his family members there and everything for it. I mean, just a really, really nice honor to him as well.
You know, his boys, they run the track meet. Like they're there, they're working the track meet. Like the whole time I got to meet one of his sons, and they're just working the track meet the whole time. They're really involved in it. You know, they take pride that it's named after their father. Like they take pride in that. And he just had a wonderful career as a coach at Wheeling Park. He coached 22 All-American track honorees. Man, 22 All-Americans.
Yeah.
He had several awards. The R.A. Thorne Award for West Virginia Track and Service Contributions in 1990.
He was
a great accomplishment.
He was named West Virginia Track Coach of the Year on 2 different occasions. He was the Ohio Valley Track Coach of the Year by the Intel twice. He established the Pepsi Park Classic, which eventually was renamed in 2004 to the Dick Dye Classic, and it's become one of the most competitive high school track events. And it's a fantastic event that's held.
It's a great event.
Tons of teams were there, held every year. It's one of those things. Every time I see that the Dick Dye is happening, it just sort of warms my heart because I know what a big success it normally is and how many teams come to compete in that every year.
Hey, so, you know, we talked about the athletes he coached and the awards. Hey, he designed the all-weather track facility that also bears his name. That's getting a huge overhaul. They're a new press box. I think there's plans in works for new restrooms and locker room areas, and they're just going to bring it up to date. He had the first photoelectric timing system at West Virginia.
That's pretty cool.
So at a high school, so that's another great accomplishment. I don't know how they do hand time. It's unbelievable.
I know that's not everything. I mean, he pioneered that. He did this. And then he also was the chairman of the OVAC Track Committee, his OVAC Track Championships, a regional meet director, a member of the Tracks Meet Committee. I mean, literally, he did it all. Like, he was involved with everything in track around the valley.
Yeah, he presented at the West Virginia University Track and Field Clinic. And then,
he also was a local athlete, too. You know, we talk about our high school athletes here. You know, he played football for Wheeling Central at West Liberty, ended up getting a master's degree at one point, but 39 years that teaching and coaching between, Belair and then at Wheeling Park as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing to see what he accomplished. He left behind a great legacy that'll go on forever.
Fantastic legacy. It was really great for his family to be there and, just honor him with his posthumous induction.
Yeah, he passed away at the age of 66 in 2007. But, hey, the meet still bears his name. The track still bears his name. So congratulations to Dick Dye and his family on his introduction to the West Virginia Coaches Association Hall of Fame. That's a great honor.
Yeah, I know they had it. It was a great ceremony. There was a nice picture in the Intel about it. And sort of talking about, the honor. Just big shout out there. It's really awesome. But so... that's who the meet's named after. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the article.
That's pretty good. Hey, it was an honor for me to be there. And as I told Tom, I'll take on all the track meets. You tell me to go. Tom went to a track meet. He goes, there's just people running around all the time. I don't know what was got it. My head was spinning. Just people run around and then they stop and they don't do anything.
Anytime I go to a track meet, my ADD brain just can't handle it. It just can't. I'm like, what's going on? Where's the events? Is it organized? What's going on? It just...
Hey, the people there, they know what's going on.
They do.
Trust me.
There's sometimes we're in the stands, it's like, it feels confusing.
Hey, it's...
Like, to your general layman going to it, like, if I go to a baseball game or a softball game or a lacrosse game, in the spring, I know what's going on. I go to a track meet and I'm like, so you're running in a circle faster than everybody else.
Maybe sometimes just a straight line.
But it's not. Like it feels from a person that's not involved with track a lot. It seems hard to follow sometimes. But this event was fantastic. There's a lot going on, and the fact that you love going to these events and can keep track of it all.
I do. I love going to track meets. Of course, I always know what's going on because I've been involved for so long in track.
That's true.
I wasn't a track and field athlete myself. I was a baseball player.
Right.
But once I started coaching track, I had an affinity for it, and I like going watching track meets. Well, some people call me crazy.
To me, you're always a very numbers and organized guy too. So it's one of those things when you realize they had this time or they jumped this far or they had this in the high jump. It's you'd ask me the next day about the football game. Hey, what was the final score of that game? I don't know. We won. I'm so bad.
What's weird about me?
That sort of stuff.
Scores of games, I can't remember anything. Yeah. But you tell me times and jumps, I'm like boom, boom, boom.
It's hysterical.
I go up there, and it's supposed to be what I call it earlier. I don't know, partly sunny day or sunny. Then it was supposed to be cloudy, so I didn't wear my sunscreen, so I got burned on my nose and my forehead. The wind was blowing.
Uncloudy or something.
It was uncloudy. It was uncloudy. Yeah, uncloudy. But it was supposed to be cloudy. I don't know why I said uncloudy. So the wind was blowing a little bit, but I tell you what, for being down in the bowl, as they call it, down at Wheeling Park, usually it's freezing down. It could be 100 degrees up on the hill.
It normally does feel cold down there all the time.
It was a really nice day. The sun was out a little bit, got a little bit of a breeze going. It just felt like a good track meet day. I got to meet with a lot of great coaches, that I got to talk to. And that's the thing about track. You're always looking at all different events. So you get to watch a disc, and you get to watch them throw the shot put. You get to watch them high jump, long jump, field events. Then you watch them do the hurdles and the sprints and the distance. And just so many events for different kids. Let's get into some action. How about that? It's like I'm talking about being up there. The construction's going really great up there, and I can't wait to see that being finished. Hey, Wheeling Park, team champion, 83.5 points.
It's impressive.
Just 4 points ahead of Cannon Mac out of Pennsylvania. Okay. They put on a great performance. They had a young man. They put on a great performance for the day in the 100, 200 long jump. He had a great day.
That's impressive.
Just to mention too, I think I read something about Dick Dye. Did they never lose a dual meet or something as he coached at Wheeling Park?
Wow.
I think they never lost. They were undefeated like his whole career is in dual meets.
That would be wild.
Like he never lost one.
That's wild.
That's unbelievable.
That's really unbelievable. Yeah.
But anyway, that just came to my brain. So Wheeling Park had some great individual performances. Ben Ashmore, Mikkel Davis.
Mikkel's my boy.
Yeah, Isaac Nizami, and Ashmore won both the 1600 and was in the 4x8 team that took first.
Yep.
Okay. Mikkel won the high jump. Really good high jump.
So here's the thing about Mikkel. So when he was in middle school, he was not the tallest kid. He's grown up a little bit since then. But you know that big fence that runs all around the baseball field right across from Wheeling Middle? I saw him as an 8th grader. I mean, he wasn't super tall as an 8th grader. But jump that. Like, not like climb it, but like running and just jump straight over it.
I could see that.
I mean, there's no surprise to me that he's doing great in the high jump. I mean, I saw him do it. Like, I didn't get out in time to unlock the gate to let him out onto the football field, and he literally just jumped it. Like, most kids, like, climb it and then sort of pseudo jump off of it. Like, he just, like, took a light jog and jumped it.
And you know what was fun about watching him do the high jump? And usually, it doesn't matter. If you're a really good high jumper and they set the bar at 3 feet, you're just going to clear the 3 feet. You're not going to clear it by 3 feet. You're just going to get as much as you need. Every time he jumps, it looks like he's this far over the bar. Every single time.
Every time.
It's like, okay, you don't have to, like, usually that bar tells you this is how high you need to jump, but he doesn't, I don't know what happens, but he's just like, okay, that's pretty unique. He's finished 6th in the long jump, too. I can remember him long jumping as well. He had, usually when you long jump, you want that big takeoff, and he was getting a lot of height. Didn't quite get out there, but we had some really good long jumpers, so he did really well in the jumps, too.
I mean, with Mikkel, I mean, I could see him, I saw him jump in middle school, and he would do the exact same thing. He would just go crazy, like, just get as much height as he could. Like I said, I'm really partial to Mikkel, coaching him in football and just, being around him for so long. So I'm really happy for see his success there as well.
How about Isaac Nizami won the 800-meter race. His brother Jonah Nizami finished 3rd in the 3,200 meters. So that's a family of distance runners there. Wheeling Park's 4x4 team finished 2nd. And then I threw this one in here. Ashton Collette got 2nd in the long jump with a jump of 19 feet, 11.5 inches.
That's impressive.
That's a heck of a jump for Ashton. He also, finished, I think, 6th or so in the high jump. Wasn't real high. I think his feet hit the bar on one of his jumps there. So I think Scotty Schennerline finished in the disc, I believe. And we had another...
I was going to say, the article in the Intel, I think, had a misprint there on that one. I'm not sure.
They had him in the long jump. I believe that... I know Scotty. He's not a long jumper.
Doesn't sound like his kind of event.
Doesn't sound like his kind of event. No. On the girls' side of the action, the Park girls finished 5th with 47 points. Shady Side and John Marshall finished 6th and 7th, respectively. Adriana Fazani took 1st place in the disc. Caitlin Smith finished 3rd in the 800-meter race for the Patriots. Kaylee Davis finished 3rd in the 100 meters and 6th in the 200 meters. Shady Side's Kenzie Beckett emerged as the top female scorer, so she got the most points for the female scores on the girls' side there, winning both the 800 and 1600.
That's impressive.
And 2nd in the 3,200.
Goodness gracious.
Quite impressive.
If I ran one of those, I wouldn't be able to walk for a week, let alone participate in all 3 of those.
Can I just tell you something? Neither one of us are running any of those.
That's true. Yeah, I'd be sucking wind after my first lap, maybe.
Rolling.
I'd be crying by the end of it.
Wheezing. Being carried. No. Driven. 800 meters.
Maybe.
I put cruise control on driving to school 3/4 of a mile.
I was gonna say, it's like you could jump to school when you're there.
I don't know how.
I mean, Ashton Collette could long jump from your house to the school.
I think so.
Go, yeah.
And she's running the 18, the 8, the 16, and the 32, and wins both the 8 and the 16, and finishes second in the 32. That's unbelievable.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
Hey,
that's awesome.
How about a shout out to Elle Rainey, a former Ram? She goes to Lindsley now. She finished second in the shot put and third in the disc. Great job, Elle. Actually, I ran into Elle at the OVAC swim meet up at Brook.
Yep.
And so she was standing there and kind of, she's like, I didn't know you remember me. And I said, well, of course I remember you. So she came over and we talked for a little bit.
I mean, so that's our short little wrap up there on the 20th annual Dick Dyke Classic. Congratulations to all the winners, participating teams. I mean, there were a ton of teams there, right?
I think there were 2 schools there from Dayton. There was Cannon McMillan. There was Thurgood Marshall. Teams from all over Ohio. The Polka came up for this one.
Man.
So they get teams from all over. And I like those because you get to see kids and run against kids that you don't normally get to see.
Yep.
And it just gives you some type of idea where you stand. Not only in state of West Virginia or in this area, but all over the region.
The more diverse the field is, I mean, the better it is to actually use a measuring stick. I mean, there's always kind of that thing with West Virginia. Oh, it's a little bit of a smaller state. So it's like, if you're good in West Virginia, how really good are you?
Yeah.
But then, you see kids, I mean, obviously you see kids from Park like Torrance Walker going to Virginia Tech to run. I know Marley Porter, who ran at Wheeling Park, she's running for Marshall University still. So, I mean, you see these kids go and run these big places from local schools. So, obviously, they measured up somewhere, and I know they traveled a lot as well to run, but it sort of allows them to have that measuring stick of, are you good just in West Virginia, or are you actually a good runner? And that diverse field really allows them to see that as well.
So, if you get a chance, go up to the track facility up at Wheeling Park. They're not quite done with all the renovations, but they're getting there. They're able to hold events. So go up, check it out. Check out a meet there. You'll have a great time. Zach?
Oh. That's all I have in our outline there. So we got our...
Brings us to the end here. We'd like to mention, again, see for yourself that summer's coming up. You want to get a nice summer vacation in. Go see for yourself. How would that be?
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks to the Army. Thanks to Swan Sports Shop. Thanks to High Valley Nutrition.
What about our Soapbox Derby?
One that's coming up, Zach. You beat me to it.
So exciting.
One that's coming up. The Ohio Valley Soapbox Derby's coming up. I'm excited, Zach. They're going to put me in a car and push me down a hill at 35 miles an hour.
Be awesome.
We need a team of 4, I think. Hopefully, we've got some assistance from this one on this one with our DJing and all the stuff we're going to do. We had a great meeting with someone that we're going to partner with, and they're going to help us out. Hopefully, we don't get a rain out. June 3rd is the date of the Soapbox Derby, because if we have a rain out June 3rd, old Jeff Rowe's going to be on his own on the 10th with a lot of stuff because
I changed it.
Coach Sokovic changed it so I wouldn't be by myself, because he knows that when the mice are away, Jeff's going to play.
Jeff's going to play.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't sure what was going to happen. But come check out the Soapbox Derby. Or if you have a kid that's interested, anywhere from the ages of, I think it's like 6 or 7, right? All the way up to 15, 16. You can get involved in the Soapbox Derby. They just ask you to come to like one thing for 3 hours to learn about the car, learn how to drive it and everything. Then they're going to put you in a wooden box and push you down a hill at 35 miles an hour. I don't know one kid. I teach middle school, and I don't know one kid that wouldn't love to get in a wooden box and push down a hill at 35 miles an hour. I don't know one kid that wouldn't want to do it. So check them out. Check our site out. If you see the link on our site, go check it out. You can sign up. If you need more information, let us know at Ohio Valley Athletics.
Absolutely.
Let us know on Facebook.
And I know they're always excited for the new people to get involved with it too. I mean, they want to get it bigger and bigger and bigger because it's such a cool event.
The cost is minimal too. It's not like you have to buy a car. They have cars available. $50. And if $50 makes or breaks you go onto it, you talk to OV Athletics and we'll see what we can do for you. And OV Athletics is sponsoring a car this year.
Yeah.
So we have to find a rider. Or did we find a rider for that one?
They were stuck in Utah because they got over 4 feet of snow on top of the 700 inches of snow that they already acquired this year. So they were stuck in Utah last week. I got to do a little check on that.
So
they're snowboarding.
They're snowboarding, but getting ready for the Soapbox Derby.
20 feet of snow at the top of the mountain.
Goodness.
I'd like to be there.
Sounds like John Carpenter's The Thing's going to show up next when you get that much snow.
Thank you to the High Valley Soapbox Derby and all of our other sponsors, our corporate teammates, just too many to mention. If you'd like to jump on board with us now, get on board with us. We're doing great things in the Valley. We have a great spring season coming up. We have great things coming up for everybody. We have bios coming up. We have the All Valley basketball team, the High Valley Athletics basketball team coming up to announce. We have that coming up. Just so much stuff to do with highvalleyathletics.com. Just stay tuned on Facebook, on Twitter, on our website, and we'll get all the information out to you with all the local sports. Thanks again for watching and listening. We'll see you next week.